Hey, I watched a movie. Been a while since I watched a movie. I don't really watch a lot of movies, so it has been a long time since I last watched one. But yeah, I watched Maquia, When the Promised Flower Blooms. Uh, Came out in 2018. It is an anime movie. It's directed by Mari Okada, or Marie Okada. I've actually watched one of her movies before, A Whisker Away. Uh, didn't do a review for that one, but I did watch that one, and I did find that one very cute. Maquia is significantly less cute, but it is a good movie. It was her directorial debut, first movie that Okada directed. Um, which meant it did have some issues, but on the whole, like I said, a very good movie. It is about a young girl by the name of Maquia. She is an orphan. She comes from this clan, the clan of the Separated. They live for hundreds of years. They basically stop aging around 15, and then they live for a few hundred years looking like they're 15. Also, they've got very blonde hair, and I think they might have like different ears and everything. So they're elves. They're basically elves. The Eorf, Iorf, Eorf. They're basically elves. Um, Maquia is an orphan, and she feels kind of alone. She does have a best friend, Lelia, um, but being an orphan, she doesn't have parents, and that does make her feel a little bit alone. Um, Her clan's elder warns her that if she ever finds herself out in the world, that she should try to needs to avoid loving anyone, because it'll just leave her feeling even more alone. So, obviously, she ends up out in the world, away from her people, and she finds a baby, just a newborn baby, and she decides to adopt him. Like she can't, like the mother's dead, so it's just orphaned. Mother was just sort of clinging to it as she died. Um, Maki doesn't want the baby to die, so she adopts him. Uh, she comes across a small village where a woman with two sons of her own sort of takes her in and helps her. Um, Skips ahead a few years. Her son, Ariel, is now around 7 years old, 6, 7 years old. And loves her very much. And at this point, we also find out that Makia's friend, Lelia, uh, has been captured by Kingdom of Mazarte. That kingdom had dragons, basically. The Renato. They're basically just dragons. And they were the source of Mazarte's strength. But they have been dying out. And now they're hoping to use they're hoping to introduce Iorf blood into the royal bloodline and sort of use Iorf longevity and everything uh, to help keep promoting their power. So Lelia is uh, betrothed to the Mazarte prince, and she is pregnant at that point. Um, and yeah, Maquia does find out that Lelia is in betrothed to him and is pregnant, and sort of has to leave. Skips ahead a few more years. Uh, Maquia and Ariel are in a major city. There's mines and there's foraging and things like that, so it's sort of like an industrial city. Maquia is a waitress. Ariel is works in the forge. Um, and at this point, he looks the same age that she does, and it's making him kind of uncomfortable. It is sort of messing with his head a little bit. It is sort of messing with him a little bit, and it's putting a distinct tension on the relationship. Um, Especially because they're presenting themselves as brother and sister, but his friends, Ariel's friends, are sort of speculating that they're actually married, and that sort of messed with his head, and that she still sees him as his little boy, as her little boy, but he's starting to see her in sort of a different way, to a certain extent. Or at the very least, he's just growing distant from her. Um, he ends up asking an old friend of theirs if to help him join the castle guard. And then it skips a few more years. Um, Ariel has a wife now who's pregnant. Um, oh, actually, I should mention in the previous timeline when they were when he was still like around 14. Lelia at that point had given birth to her child and then been locked into a tower, basically alone, not even allowed to hold uh, her daughter. Lelia is voiced by Jeremy Lee, who I do really like as a voice actor. She also voices Sailor Venus in the Viz dub of Sailor Moon. She also voiced V in the in Cyberpunk 2077. She's really good, and in this section in particular, she has Lelia has a total breakdown, and Jeremy does a really good job um, selling just how tormented she is. Because when we first see her, she's very carefree and a bit wild and joyful. She's just, she's just pure joy. And now she is very much not. And it's really good. It's really good performance. Maquia is voiced by Zanthe Huynh? Not sure how it's pronounced. I should have looked it up. Who I'm not familiar with, but seems to do a lot of stuff. A lot of anime. She's done a lot of anime dubs. Been around for a while. Since 2008, at least. And yeah. So yeah, she's been most of the rest of the voice cast, the English voice cast, most of them don't even have Wikipedia articles, Wikipedia entries. Ariel is voiced by Barnaby Barnaby Lafayette as a child, Ryan Shanahan as a teen, Eddie Lee as an adult. No idea who any of those are. Um, there's a bunch of different people who, again, don't know who any of them are. Um, and then, yeah, so. Yeah, so it goes, another 7 years. Ariel's got a kid on the way of his own, and he's still in the palace castle guard. And war breaks out. Mazarte is invaded. And let's say it's a really good movie. One thing I like about it, like at the start, uh, Maquia is warned, you know, don't love people outside the clan. Don't love anyone outside the clan. Because it'll just make you feel alone. And at that point, you sort of expect the way it's going to go is she's going to fall in love with, some dude. She's going to meet some guy and fall in love and all that. But instead, they go, like, maternal love. That's the love that they go with, is maternal love. And that is definitely a major theme, is a mother's love for her child. That willingness to do anything for him. And I mean, like, being a mom is hard. Being a mother is very hard. So there are times where, there's a couple points where she finds, when he's young, where she finds him too much. Where she struggles with him. And there are other parts, when he's a teenager. He sort of pulls away from her, and there's, she's clearly hurt by that. And, he's still obviously, he does still love her. She's his mother. But she's also still looks 15. She looks the same age that he does still. And it's, and there's the tension of, a teenager sort of pulling away from his mother. He wants to protect her. He does still love her. He wants to protect her and everything. Then he also sort of needs to go off and find his own life. So that's like a very prominent theme, is just, mother's love for her child. Even though, adopted, but she's still his mom. She's still the only mom he's ever known. She's cared for him since he was, hours old. And I like that that's the angle that it went with instead of romantic love. It does make things more interesting. Maquia, at no point does Maquia ever have a romantic love interest. There is a guy who expresses a romantic interest in her, but she flat out tells him that all her thoughts are for her son. She has no room for romance. She has to focus on her son. And it's a really nice scene. It's like that scene's really well handled too. The climax is all very exciting. Lelia's story is also really interesting, because she's sort of like the only thing that really keeps her going in captivity is the possibility of seeing her daughter again. She is her daughter was taken from her, you know, right after she was born. She barely got she barely ever got to hold her daughter, and that's sort of like what kept her going for 14 years. Um, and just seeing her go from carefree and joyful to emotionally devastated, feeling like she has absolutely nothing in the world. Um, is very, very hard to, very rough. Um, so her arc is more about captivity and freedom, and that's sort of what's going on with the Renata as well. Is her storyline ties in with the Renata being chained up, denied their freedom. So that is also a theme. So like there's a bit of a contrast there between Maquia being free and having her son and being happy, being free with her child, contrasted with Lelia having neither freedom nor her child. I do think that I do feel like those two storylines don't quite mesh up the way that I feel like they were supposed to. Um, but it is still really good. Um, it's a very touching story, very sweet, um, and definitely themes of motherhood and loss is definitely a theme there. Um, and just sort of, there's also a little bit of the ways that the people that we let into our heart sort of weave themselves into our hearts. So, yeah, it is a very good movie. It won several awards when it came out, and got great reviews. And also, I mean, really good animation as well, uh, which is unsurprising. Okada's been in the industry for a while. She sort of got her start. Yeah, she's been involved in the industry since at least 1998, often doing screenplays. A lot of writing in that time. Um, movie was produced by PA Works. This was again the first standalone feature-length theatrically released production by PA Works, which again has been around for a while. 2000 that it was founded. So they have, they've done a fair bit of stuff. So they've got definitely A lot of stuff already under their belt by the time this was made. So the people, the animators sort of knew what they're doing, and there are some really lovely sequences, some very exciting sequences, and just some really lovely animated ones, beautifully animated ones. It is visually very pretty. And again, like the does a really good job selling the emotional beats as well. Again, that bit where Lelia is breaking down in the tower. Um, the animation is really well done there. Really effective at it. Uh, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the movie. One that definitely, I think, is worth checking out if you enjoy anime, or even if you're just okay with anime. So yeah, good movie, and yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.